Tomorrow, our X Games coverage from Aspen continues on ESPN2 at 2 p.m. Eastern. We'll have the women's ski big air and the men's ski slopestyle finals. Then at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific on ESPN, it's the Monster Energy Snowboard Superpipe and Snow Bike Best Trick Finals. All of our X Games coverage is also streaming live on the ESPN app. Welcome back, everyone, to X Games Aspen. You're looking at Blair Morgan. That gentleman right there is a 5-time X Games medalist, and we are happy to have him back in the mix. They had Snow Bike Adaptive going on before we got into this final race. Jimmy Coleman here alongside Chris Barrant. And, well, Chris, the big story coming into this is your defending gold medalist, Brock Hoyer, is pretty much picking up where he left off in 2017.
He sure is. He's just so blistering fast, doesn't make mistakes. I really look for him and Cody Matichuk to be the class of the field in the final right now.
Well, Cody Matichuk actually had the better time of our 2 qualifying heats, so he had the first choice of lane selection. So this is how it works. We have 12 riders in the field. You're looking at Cody Cam right there. Brock Hoyer, he's the gold medalist, won last year's race by almost 12 seconds. Cody Matichuk been extremely fast. Your snowcross bronze medalist from last year. Taking a look at Nolan. It's actually Mees right there. Darren Mees. There's Nolan Hebner right there. So 12 riders in the lineup out here this afternoon. It is a 20-lap race. That is how we do it out here at X Games Aspen in 2018. Josh Hill coming out of retirement, making an appearance out here in the final for Snow BikeCross. Yannick Boucher. We got number 96, Axel Hodges, who was actually one of our faster qualifying times from seeding earlier this afternoon. Keaton Ward ranked 3rd in the 2016-2017 AMA Championship Series. And Nathan Bless, his first X Games appearance, he got the bubble, the transfer spot. The top 6 moved on out of each heat, so he got that last spot out of his heat. And Jake Scott out of Canada also making his first X Games appearance. So, Chris, the 30-second card is up, and we are just about ready to get racing underway. This one is for the medals, ladies and gentlemen. It is 20 laps, and we've seen run times in the seeding round go about 35 seconds, but the key here, who is going to get out of that hole shot? It's a 180-degree right-hand turn coming out of this straightaway, and that one is going to be key here in the start.
It's really interesting. Matichuk actually lined up. Oh, he's holding his hand up. Matichuk has a problem with his bike, potentially. A little bit of a false start with the guys here.
Yeah, just a tad of a false start, so they'll line everybody back up right here. We keep talking about that start. It's a 180-degree right-hand turn, and why is that key, Chris?
Well, it's crazy. We have a nice wide start, but it's amazing how narrow that 180-degree corner can get.
The real estate gets real narrow. We haven't really seen anybody throwing some elbows, banging the bars, or trading paint into that turn yet. We'll see what happens as we add 2 extra riders into the mix, and we are underway in our final race.
Oh, Hoyer got a terrible start. He's back mid-pack. Looks like he snuck on the inside just a little bit.
So as they come uphill, you get into this rhythm section straightaway going uphill, and then you come into this downhill roller section.
Wow, this is going to be crazy. Matichuk doing exactly what he needed. He has been blistering fast. He needed to get out in front. He's not dealing with any roost. He's got good visibility. Now he just needs to put in some solid laps to gap Brock Hoyer.
Now, when you say roost, we're talking about the snow that you kick up from the track when you're out in the lead. So you get that in the goggles, and that's definitely going to throw off the visibility. But being out in the lead, you don't have to contend with that out here in the second of 20 laps.
Yeah, it's going to be crazy, though. These guys are going to get into lappers. The course is going to deteriorate. Right now, it's perfectly prepped. It's the fastest that it's going to be.
Well, they did do some grooming before we got into this final matchup, but with a 20-lap race, remember, the opening 2 heats, it was only a 10-lap race, so the ruts and the course deterioration is going to be a real big problem when we get into the latter laps of the race.
I think big key for Hoyer right now is to understand and know that this is 20 laps. It's a long race. Stay focused, ride your race. Looks like he's getting up onto the back of Darren Mees right here.
He's looking to pass Mees, trying to challenge for that silver medal position as of right now, but it's Cody Matichuk, your #1 time out of our seeding round. Earlier today, he got that hole shot, and he sits in the lead as we are on lap 3 out of 20. Another thing to think about, too, is when they come over the downhill jump, that final jump as they cross the start-finish line area, You got a 70-foot jump right there, and there's a lot of deep, loose snow down there. There's a great angle of it right there. So we've seen that in past heats. That starts to rut up and form a natural berm wall, and you'll see these guys get a little loose coming into that turn.
And you actually saw Hoyer right there do the exact thing that you're talking about. He came in there, caught an edge. Then what's going to happen is that snow is going to blow out, and underneath the snow is that ice like we talked about in the heat races, and that's going to cause some trouble.
All right, well, Hoyer is not letting up. He's definitely nipping on the heel of Mies right now, but Manichuk out to a very comfortable lead. Now, rewinding the clock to last year, we saw Brock. He actually ended up stalling out the bike, or dropped the bike down at one point in the race, and it was behind for a little while, and he got back up. It was about the midway point of the race to get back up and get into that lead position.
Here's that battle for second. Hoyer needs...
Trading pain as he takes it uphill there, but Mies still out in the lead, but not by much.
And Manichuk is just loving this. With these guys banging bars, it's definitely slowing down their time and giving Manichuk a bigger gap.
Well, Brock takes it on the inside lane again, and he pulls out into that silver medal position as of right now. Now, this is just interesting, too. As they go uphill there, you've got a choice. There's two uphill lanes there. You've got a choice of lane selection, moving your way uphill, coming into that final 70-foot jump.
The way the field sits right now, Manichuk 1, Hoyer number 2. This is how these guys raced in opposite order in the Canadian Snow Bike Championship. Hoyer got the best of Manichuk. It'll be interesting to see, is this Manichuk's race?
Well, he is coming in as your defending bronze medalist from last year. This is only the second time that we've contested Snow BikeCross here at X Games Aspen, but he is out in a sizable lead as of right now. Looking like he has almost a 3-second differential, or 6-second differential going on right now here as we are into lap 7 out of 20. We haven't even hit the halfway point yet, so a lot of racing still to go. And take a look here. Brock Hoyer's making up some ground, Chris.
He's coming. What we saw, that battle with Mies definitely slowed Hoyer down, but he's charging. He will catch him. This is a very long race, and Hoyer, that's what impressed me so much about last year, is his consistency lap after lap.
Well, talk about the kind of training that goes into this. I mean, you think about it. I mean, this is 20 laps. I mean, talk about the consistency that you have to have, the mental strength and awareness that you have to stay focused for a full 20 laps, especially after some adversity in the opening part of the race.
Well, one thing I've seen all throughout today is it's so awesome having the Villapotos and the Hills and Axel Hodges. It's so great to have these moto guys, but the cream has risen to the top. And with these guys spending so much time on their bikes, they're so comfortable. And with Hoyer being here in Colorado for the last 10 days, acclimating himself and getting himself ready for this event, I think that will play. And look, Cody Cam, another one. Cody is one of the most physically fit athletes out there, being from the snowcross background.
And he is overtaking Darren Mies for that bronze medal position right now. So your top three, it's still Manichuk out in the lead, followed by Hoyer, who's trying to close that gap. And now Cody Cam sits in that bronze medal position. We've got a sled down on the track there, so that yellow caution flag was out. That kind of slowed up Manichuk just a little bit there here in lap number 9 out of 20. See the number plate there, see who that was that stalled out, trying to get that bike off the track.
I believe it was Fisher who had troubles on that uphill section.
Now you can see Cody Manichuk getting into some lapper traffic here, coming down that downhill set. And again, keep your eye on that downhill left-hand turn as that snow starts to rut up. That could cause some problems for these riders in the latter half of this race.
Wow, Manichuk is, it looked like Hoyer was closing the gap a little bit, but Manichuk is just, he is flying right now.
Still trying to get that stalled out bike off the track, so that yellow caution flag still out there on that first uphill set of rhythm section. So we're in lap 10 out of 20. We're at the halfway point. Remember, this is for all the marbles. This is our medal match. Your defending gold medalist from last year, Brock Hoyer, sits in the number 2 position, but it is your bronze medalist from last year who is currently sitting in the lead with almost an 8-second differential between the two. And we talked about this earlier. The visibility has definitely been an issue. For more on that, let's check in with Diana Dahlgren out in the field.
Hey guys, visibility is huge here. You'll see a lot of the dirt-based experienced riders. They are struggling right now. They're not used to this gray. And as you can tell, the top 3 running grew up in snow, and they're definitely dominating here tonight.
Thank you, Diana. We talked about that earlier. The conditions were changing for those first two opening heats, and now it looks really flat out there. And it's really hard. How bad does that affect the depth perception when you're looking at some of these features on the course?
Yeah, the flat light in combination with the roost, it really causes some problems because it's so hard to see the imperfections in the course. And as we continue here, you can see, look at these berms. I mean, these guys are just, it's pushing all of that snow into the back, almost making it a little one line.
All right, so Brock Hoyer getting into some lapper traffic right now, but again, with 12 laps down, 8 to go here, it's still
Matichuk is down. The leader is down right there.
Well, here we go. We're looking back to 2017. We saw that happen last year with Brock Hoyer, but it was brief. He got right back up for it. He didn't stall out the bike, which was good. He was just down for a second, gets right back up, but it's still Matichuk, Hoyer, and Cam.
Let's take a look here. Just, wow.
That's an example of what we're talking about. That loose stuff right there. He almost got run over right there, too. Whoever was coming up on the backside there, good on him, taking the outside line. The key was he didn't stall out the bike. He kept it going. But that, I mean, we saw that almost that exact same thing last year out of Brock Hoyer.
Well, Cody did a great job of keeping his composure, keeping the bike from stalling. And he had a big enough lead where I don't even know if Hoyer actually saw that to actually give him a little bit more motivation.
He's closed the gap, though. Earlier, it was, but 2 laps ago, it was almost an 8-second lead. Now it's down to a little over 5 seconds. So that definitely helped out the Brock Hoyer cause. But Cody Cam's still sitting in that bronze medal position. And then it's Darren Mees, who was in bronze for a while, now sits on the outside looking in with a handful of laps left to go. We are 14 out of 20 here in the Snow BikeCross final. These riders in the hunt for an X Games medal out here this afternoon. And now that separation's starting to grow again as you look at that scoring timing monitor there. Now we're back up to 6 seconds differential.
Well, these two guys are the class of the field. It's so impressive to watch. I mean, the talent pool this year. Brock Hoyer had a target on his back, and Matichuk, he just went up there and took it.
What a race we've got going on right now. It's still holding steady at just over 6 seconds as of right now. Cody Cam, by the way, sitting in that bronze medal position, your 2017 ISOC Snowcross Pro Open champ. But right now, the big story is Mr. Matichuk. Your #1 qualifying time from seeding today, by the way. The fastest guy on the track, and he is out in the lead with 4 laps to go here, Chris.
It was crazy. The very first lap that I saw him out in practice, I was like, that boy has a medal in mind. I mean, he's just flying, just on another level.
Taking a look at it back here from the seeding scores, it was 34.773 seconds. That was I mean, this is a bigger course than what we had last year. And just a little over half a minute ripping through. That was his best lap time. And he's on his way to a gold medal, barring any slip-ups here. So right now, what goes into your mind concentration-wise? You start thinking about things like, okay, the track is deteriorating. You've got lapper traffic ahead of you that could possibly cause a slip-up. What goes through your mind at this point?
Well, I think this section right here, you can see Hoyer struggling, basically rolling over each section. Seat bouncing right there at the end. Matichuk is still just doing his lines. He's not being conservative. He is racing at the pace that he is comfortable with and that he's really fast with. And, you know, right here, you've got other racers in the way. You've got the course deteriorating. I mean, you've got to stay focused and keep racing the race.
Well, that's where it starts to get dicey there. You start coming down into some of these turns and coming off the jumps, and you get some other riders that are in your way. Maybe they may not even know that you're coming up behind them there. So we'll have to see if he can hang on for the final 2 laps. And the gap, it's over 9 seconds as Cody Matichuk is pulling away from Brock Hoyer and furthering his case to try to earn that gold medal here today, Chris.
Wow, this is just an impressive run. I mean, whoa, almost some trouble right there on the last lap.
And the white flag is out. Can he hang on for this final lap and take home an X Games gold medal? He just has to hang on for 1 more lap coming into this first uphill rhythm section.
I love his style. He is so smooth. He looks so natural. You wouldn't even know that this was a snow bike versus a dirt bike. He's got that. he's got this fluid design or style on lock.
Yeah, he's been on form, on point this entire race. And again, you have to also think about the fatigue factor. Remember, this is double the laps that we had in our opening races. And there you go, across the finish line, and it's Cody Matichuk, your #1 time from seeding, and takes home a gold medal. Your defending gold medalist from last year, Brock Hoyer, with the silver. And how about Cody Kam hanging on to take the bronze? Cody Matichuk is fired up right now, and rightly so. Fastest lap time earlier today, looking solid in practice, and he walks out of here with the shiniest of the 3 medals you could possibly take.
Brock has had his number up in the series of last year, but today, it's his day. Taking home some gold.
Listen to that reaction from the fans. And again, you know, the track conditions deteriorating. You've got twice the amount of laps that you had in your qualifying races. And then on top of that, we talked about those flat-like conditions. The riders were just not having it with those flat-like conditions, but rising above the conditions, and right out of that hole shot from the start, pulled out to an early lead, and nobody was able to catch him. And his dad, by the way,
look at Brock.
Talking to his dad earlier today with Colin Bain from our research team. His dad's been loaning out parts and equipment to everybody all across the motorized field out here this weekend. The Matichuks, they've got stuff out in all the different motorized disciplines out here this weekend.
This is what's so cool about this industry, the snow bike industry, is these are just a bunch of guys who would have ever thought they would be here at X Games competing for gold medals.
A lot of these guys inspired by Brock Hoyer's backcountry riding videos. A lot of these guys making the crossover from the motocross racing world as well as snowcross racing world. So that is a wrap. It's Cody Matichuk taking the gold medal out here today. What a race, Chris.
I can't say it enough. Matichuk was so prepared mentally and physically to take Brock down.
What an afternoon for him. He's down there with Diana. Let's send it down to her for an interview.
Cody Matichuk taking the gold here this year. Despite a bad start, you are now the gold medal winner.
Woo! Fuck, we worked way so hard for this. Our whole season's dedicated. Great motor built by MPG, Mobile PG. Ray's Motorsports controlled it. Suspension, I mean, RMR suspension killing it. And then that Yeti track, it's working out there.
Congratulations, Cody Matichuk, gold medal winner. Guys, back to you.
He comes into the inaugural event last year and takes home a bronze medal. This year, he walks away with a gold. What a finish here in Snow BikeCross when it's all said and done. Cody Kam with the bronze, Brock Hoyer with the silver, and Cody Matichuk with the gold. We'll send it over to the host set right now with Jack Matrani.
Wow, what an incredible race. Cody Matichuk takes it away from Brock Hoyer. Can you believe it?
I can't. I simply can't. If I didn't see it, they can't either.
Can you guys believe it? Aspen, can you believe it? Oh, man.
Wow.
What an incredible day it has been. We started off today with some predictions. How did we do on our predictions, Craig?
Well, Anna Gasser, we predicted her with that big air gold medal. She did that. Cab 10 double and a front 9 double. She absolutely killed it, Jack.
Maggie Voisin, we also predicted that she would win, and she did. That was her first X Games medal ever, so that was amazing.
Then we saw Jamie Anderson win the gold and Marcus Cleveland win the gold in slope style men's and women's snowboarding.
What about the lingo? We talked lingo earlier. How'd we do? We had cork, pop, full send, bolts, and stoke. Did you hit that in your commentary up there?
In my call, I must have said each of those words about 1,000 times.
You actually are just as innovative and progressive as the athletes. I heard you call some things that I've never heard before. Let's check this out.
Here is Layla Iwabuchi, our X Games rookie, just 16 years old. Craig!
Can we get an APB on Layla's sanity? Because it's missing.
Oh,
wow.
My goodness.
Holy kittens, folks. Now we got a ball game.
APB on her sanity? Is that what you just said? What does that even mean?
I just kind of shut my brain off. I don't even know what I'm saying. I kind of think I blacked out, actually.
And then holy kittens.
Holy Kittens is right. I mean, I don't know what I said, and I don't know what we're going to say tonight.
Exactly. Speaking of, that's what the question mark symbolized. We have so much more going on tonight. The real cost men's ski big air, and we also have women's snowboard super pipe. I mean, I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's time for myself and Craig to get the flip out of here. What do you think, Craig?
I think it's time to get the flip out of here.
Okay, we're getting the flip out of here. All right, I guess I'm getting the flip out of here. You better watch out.
There it is. We stopped it.
Stop. We stopped. Just like them.